I've only 5 minutes to summarize the debate so far, so I don't have time to explain every logical fallacy committed by Dave Thomas in his reply video. You can do this for yourself by examining what I'd actually said with what he has claimed that I'd said. Also, look for a detailed follow-up video on this channel or an article on skeptopathy.com. Every fallacy Mr. Thomas claims I have committed resulted from him misrepresenting my position into a fallacious form which he then attacked. In other words, with each false accusation of fallacy, he committed a false fallacy, which is a form of straw man argument. My core argument is that because only the controlled demolition explanation has supporting scientific evidence, it is the only scientific explanation available for the Twin Tower collapses. Mr. Thomas does not credibly deal with this argument. He merely referred to several highly flawed analyses. Every one of these analyses contains serious defects and do not account for key observations. Note also that the NIST report was built on all of the other reports Mr. Thomas mentioned, except for the Cambridge study and Thomas's own, of course. All these analyses either ignore key observations or cannot be verified. All the analyses, including the Cephan analysis from University of Cambridge and the Bazant analysis from Northwestern University, completely ignore all horizontal effects, such as the explosive focalized dust ejections, sometimes called squibs, and the multi-ton pieces of structural steel hurled laterally at up to 70 miles per hour. The Purdue model, like the NIST report, confines itself to how the tower collapse is initiated and thus provides no evidence for the collapse itself. The Weidlinger Associates Z-axis Corp model data is unavailable to independent researchers, so it cannot be verified. This model is also grossly inaccurate. For example, it requires temperatures on the impact floors to be between 400 and 700 degrees Celsius, which is about 750 to 1300 degrees Fahrenheit. However, the fact that a woman can be seen waving from the North Tower impact hole proves that the temperatures were nowhere that hot. Thomas's own model requires the core columns to be standing after collapse. The fact that only a few columns are seen for a short time from one of the towers before collapsing straight down is problematic. His model also clearly does not replicate reality. His upper block is falling much faster than the tower is falling, as you can see for yourself. Despite Mr. Thomas's failed attempts, my evidence still stands. No skyscraper in the history of mankind has fallen as quickly and as symmetrically as the Twin Towers without being a controlled demolition. The buildings came down level. They did not tip to one side and fall over. Yes, the South Tower, or WTC2, does show a roll at collapse start, but the remainder of the collapse is extremely symmetrical. This speed and symmetry is undisputable evidence of controlled demolition. The controlled demolition hypothesis can explain all observations and thus conforms to the scientific method. The official story ignores many key observations, which is an egregious violation of the scientific method. The controlled demolition hypothesis is therefore the most and indeed only scientific explanation available for the Twin Tower falls.